everyone, patrons and non-patrons alike tonight. Welcome to the 39th edition of Warren is Off the Clock. I am Warren Hayes. Yes, welcome first and foremost to my patrons, to everyone who is a member of the Mr. Warren Hayes show Patreon and who shows their very humbling support for what I do. So thank you for being here, and welcome to all of you curious onlookers wondering what the hell all of this is about. Well, technically, I don't think I'm mistaken here when I say, and patrons, feel free to correct me here, but this is the star attraction of the Patreon. Every Thursday after the Mr. Warren Hayes show, I jump onto patreon.com/Mr. Warren Hayes and I start up a stream exclusively for patrons. And we sit around, we talk about wrestling most of the time. Sometimes it goes off the rails. We talk about a whole bunch of stuff, video games and how much I hate DGMC, that kind of stuff. Very, very chill things. So we take the time, we talk a lot in the chat. It's a good time. So, if you enjoy what happens here this evening, well, just know that it happens every Thursday after the Mr. Warren Hayes show proper on youtube.com/Mr. Warren Hayes. So if you pop in here, if you want to show your support, it's available at the Power Pal tier. So if you show your support, well, this is an extra goodie, and it just helps out the show a lot. I still saving up all my cash as much as I can. I want to upgrade my video equipment. I have a nice little camera here, but the next objective would be to get something with a little more oomph. But we're getting there. We're getting there, folks. Hello. Throwback. Well, I guess I missed him. Good night, Throwback. Thank you. Thank you very much. You got Tim Travers here. How you doing, Tim? DGMC. What do you mean justice have been served? I don't know what you're talking about. Carlos, how you doing? Ben, how you doing? Anakin, how you doing? J.K. Schwal is here as well. Good to see you, Evan Wright. Nice to see you guys. Happy 4th of July. Shit, I forgot to wish the Americans a happy 4th of July. Please be safe. That's all I want you guys to be. I want you guys to be safe this weekend. Bluegrass Jeff, good to see you. Welcome to the post stream. Thomas Gories, good to see you as well. Welcome to the post stream. Yeah, and it is hot. It is so hot in my headquarters tonight. Usually I have like windows and doors open and a fan rolling, but I can't do this while I stream because otherwise people outside will hear me scream and they'll think they'll call the cops. Is what they'll do. How did you guys like having Kristen on the show, being like that voice of reason, reading the super chats? I liked it. I really do. We decided to give it a test tonight, see how it was going, how it would end up. But I really liked it. We're gonna try it. Thank you, Nikki. Good to see you, by the way. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, it was a good time. I think we're gonna do this again next week because we really liked it. How you doing, Joe? Before we get into the stuff that I'm like, that the negative stuff, we're gonna shit on things in a few minutes. I want to talk about Evolve. Carlos says, hopefully Kristen stays. I hope so too. Thomas says, there is no reasoning with you, Warren. What? Yes, you can reason with me if I choose to be reasonable. J.K. Schwal says, Kristen is great, especially with her being from Wisconsin. Are you from Wisconsin too? J.K., that's cool. And you see Anakin says her being from Wisconsin is the one drawback. Man, I hope she doesn't hear or read that comment. Oh boy. Sadly you are. What are you talking about? Wisconsin. I've been to Wisconsin. I've been there. I like it. I don't know what's wrong with Wisconsin. It's fine. It's a nice place. Thomas says, where's my apology? What apology? I don't know anything. Hey, just before yes, JK, the winters suck there, but they suck here in Canada too. They suck hardcore. DGMC says, please don't make Kristen upset. We need her as an ally. You know, you can win her over very easily. Very, very easily. What? Anakin says, she saw me explain my ex who cheated on me is from there and lives there. It's okay. Nothing personal. I just have the negative feelings. Oh, okay. I understand. Yeah. Okay. I apologize. I didn't. I thought you were just like being silly. I didn't think it actually had, a very real and emotional connotation for you. I apologize, man. I'm sorry. Thomas, I will tweet you with your honest comments. Okay. You go right ahead. WWE acquires Evolve Wrestling. Guys, Jesus Christ. We kind of saw this coming, but it is shocking. World Wrestling Entertainment, I'm going to read the off of PW Insider. They were the first article that I saw on it. World Wrestling Entertainment has officially acquired ownership of the Gabe Sapolsky, Dave Hamwai Evolve promotion. PWInsider.com has confirmed. Evolve has long been the flagship promotion of World Wrestling Network. The deal was closed after several months of negotiations. There were rumors making the rounds that Evolve had been sold to WWE. Nothing had been finalized until recently. I'm reading this live, so you're getting my fresh reactions. WWE broadcast Evolve's 10th anniversary event live on the WWE Network, the first to date and only non-WWE promotion to stream on that platform in July of last year. I remember, and it was a good show. They will have the complete rights to use the Evolve brand name and produce Evolve events going forward, whether as live events or WWE Network programming. There is no word whether we'll ever see an Evolve event again, but certainly there will be Evolve WWN content added to the WWE Network in some form down the line. So basically right now, WWE has the tape library. I'm pretty sure that's all they really care about. Evolve was created as Dragon Gate USA offshoot in January 2010 as a way to run without the Dragon Gate talents coming in from Japan, while DG USA was a satellite promotion for CIMA and other Japanese stars here in the States. CIMA's a Chinese promotion, though. Evolve was based on different fighting styles and win-loss records. That was a concept Sapolsky and WWE star Daniel Bryan had come up with leading into the first event under the Evolve banner in Rahway in New Jersey. But as it turned out, Bryan ended up signing with WWE and he was gone by the time Evolve debuted. Evolve ran 146 events over its lifetime, with its final event taking place on 3-1 in Melrose, Maine. No, not Maine. I'm not quite up on my MA as far as states go. Would be Missouri, not Missouri. Maryland, right? MA would be Maryland. Melrose, Maryland. It makes sense that they run out of Maryland. Headlined by AR Fox and Josh Briggs. Oh my God. Massachusetts. Okay, thank you. Of course. No, it's not Maine. It's not Maine. Maine is ME. Thank you, Throwback. It's not Maine. I know Maine is ME. Anyway, AR Fox he's going to be picked up somewhere. Beyond the aforementioned, the Evolve Video Library acquisition gives WWE fresh content featuring, oh, this is cool. Listen to this. Featuring Daniel Bryan, Sabu, The Young Bucks, Mia Yim, AR Fox, Eddie Kingston, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, Austin Aries. Austin Aries. I should have wore a mask. Walter, Zack Sabre Jr., Cedric Alexander, Ethan Page, Trent Beretta, and countless matches that have never been seen on the WWE Network and can be utilized for future documentaries or other original programming. The demise of Evolve was brought about by the reality of a world dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic, which has shut down live entertainment events on all levels. In recent years, Evolve had slid into a role where it existed mostly to help groom WWE talents, brought about by the promotion's track record at developing future WWE talents. Eventually, the working relationship grew into a signed contractual agreement between the two sides. That agreement included a clause that would allow WWE to purchase the promotion if it so desired. WWE has similar agreements with promotions in Europe. It's a very long article. You can go read the rest if you like, but we get the gist of it. So, it's kind of a big deal for Evolve to have gone that way, because it was a AAA indie promotion, getting all the big talent in, along the lines of the Ring of Honors and PWG. It's right up there. Defy to a certain extent as well. This is a casualty. It's definitely a casualty. I don't know how much it has to do with the COVID situation. Honestly, I really don't. But that's just wild, and it's a bit of a pour one out situation, because I'm pretty sure WWE is not going to run any Evolve events. I'd be surprised. I'm pretty sure all they wanted was the tape. The tape library to them is much more valuable. Like they said, they have footage of the Young Bucks. They probably have footage of right at their fingertips of a bunch of AEW superstars right now. I'm pretty sure they do. Crazy. Ben says, I had a few ribeyes in honor of the great Austin Aries. Ironically, that meal had more steaks than the majority of his matches. Heyo. Carlos says, who does WWE pick up? Hey, there's a lot. AR Fox, man, he is something special. He is good stuff. I'm really curious to see how things are going to evolve moving forward, because there's a bunch of talent that I'm pretty sure WWE doesn't necessarily want to see end up on the indies and be fair game for just about anyone to pick up. There's reports going around that Impact has been talking to a lot of free agents. It's a weird one. But I'll tell you for sure, AR Fox, he is very, very, very special. He's a special talent. He's really good. I think Austin Aries got picked up at the perfect opportunity. Not Austin Aries, excuse me. Austin Theory. Ugh. Austin Aries. Look, for me, it's sad because it's an indie promotion, a high profile indie promotion that bites the dust. It's one less place for people to work at. Once we all get out of confinement and things start to get back in shape, one less place for people to work at with decent paydays and also good exposure. It's the kind of thing where you work Evolve, you get noticed. I hope places like PWG are able to continue to survive here. You'd say bar wrestling, but you don't want to hear anything about bar wrestling anymore. You sort of hope that things will work out here. Bluegrass Jeff says, unfollowed Austin Aries today. What a dope. Took you that long to unfollow? He's been a dope for a while. Can you believe? Okay. Since we're talking about, thank you for bringing this up, Jeff. I want you guys to sit. Okay, take a moment, sit down, nice and proper. Have a drink, okay, and free your mind. Now picture Zelina Vega, okay. Like, take a moment to just picture Zelina Vega in your mind's eye, and then once you have her set right in the forefront of your brain, take a moment to realize that Austin Aries dated her. Okay? Take him. He dated her. They were a thing. They were a serious couple. And now, think about Zelina Vega wanting to get married. And Austin Aries saying that instead of getting married, he'd give her a promise ring. And now imagine Zelina Vega going, see ya, I am out of here. And going over and running into Aleister Black. That, my friends, to me, that right there, that is Austin Aries. Jesus Christ. A promise ring. I'm not making this shit up. I'm not like, this is stuff that happened. You have Zelina Vega who says, I'm ready to commit to you. I want to get married. And dude goes, nah, here's a promise ring. Instead, he fucks it up. My God. But that being said, kudos to Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. They seem to be, I don't know if you guys watch their YouTube channel. They seem like a lovely couple. They seem to be very happy in love with all their cats. Couldn't be happier for them. Fuck Austin Aries. Oh, I love your reactions, chat. That's absolutely fantastic. TGMC says, all I envision is Aleister Black rising from a grave outside the house where Aries and Zelina are arguing. And then he's like, zombie Aleister Black comes over and saves the day. I'll rescue you. I'll get you out of this relationship. So he's like, yay. Joe says, AR Fox and Leon Ruff were tag champs and Evolve. That could be what they are looking for. Right now, Leon Ruff is king of the jobbers. My God. I mean, as far as enhancement talent goes, he's amazing. Bluegrass Jeff, you can't, but you hadn't heard these stories clearly. Thankfully, she found Alistair. Wow, he's dumber than I thought. Yeah, he's no. Thomas wants me to check my mentions. I don't. I never do that. I don't check my mentions. That's for my secretary to do. Who's my secretary? You haven't met him yet. Evan Wright says Yoshi Austin Aries is the Yoshi -Hashi of spouses. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. J.K. Schwal says baller on a budget. Apparently can't afford a ring off of that WWE contract. What a clown. It's not a promise ring. It's not even at some point. It's not even like let's get engaged. What is he in middle school? What the fuck? Oh, okay. Hey, let's chit chat some more about stuff that I didn't quite care for. And I'm going to start with AEW because I'm an equal opportunity disliker. Guys, gals, you got to tell me. Give me 3 good reasons to like Jake Hager as a wrestler. Please. I need 3. You need to convince me cuz I don't know. I don't understand. Jason PS3, how you doing? I don't understand what AEW sees in him. I don't understand what they see to the extent to say this guy he's a big match wrestler. Let's put him in the main event of our pay-per-view world title. Let's put him at the main event over here. TNT, and they feel like all they need to do is a couple of vignettes and people are like, damn son, he's a threat. I don't understand him. I don't get it. And it was such a good move. I was very, very fearful that they were going to main event the first night of Fyter Fest with Cody versus Hager. It was like, no one cares. They're main eventing with Io and Sasha over on NXT. There is no way you're keeping casual eyeballs on AEW with that other match happening. Absolutely not. I don't see his upside. I never did. I don't even think he's that charismatic. As far as big men go, there are much more capable, better big men than him. Even when he was in WWE, there were bigger guys who were better, more athletic, more interesting, more charismatic than he was, with the more interesting movesets. And I get it in AEW, he came in at a time where there were small people everywhere. Well, small people, smaller guys. So he sort of immediately towered over everyone. But it's not the case anymore. When you have a guy like Lance Archer, why do you need a Jake Hager? I don't understand. I honestly don't understand. Let me see what you guys have for me here. Because my point here, one of the things I didn't like the Cody Hager match. Because I don't there were no real stakes for me. They tried really, really hard doing that press conference and all that junk. But if this felt very much like WWE giving me the hard sell on a wrestler. This is how it felt like. And they gave me the same hard sell a couple of months ago when he was supposed to fight Moxley and he failed. Why are we like 2 months removed from that and he's getting another championship shot? He barely wrestles. And why is he getting another title shot when I don't care about him? I don't give a rat's ass about Jake Hager. And there is no amount of vignettes of what he did in Bellator, or there aren't as many press conferences that you can do that will make me care. It really felt like they were giving us the WWE hard sell, and I didn't like it. DGMC says he's rock hard. So does Bluegrass Jeff. Robert Kane, how you doing? He says his wife. Yeah, I guess. That's kind of like saying, I don't know. That's kind of like saying Elizabeth was the attraction, not Macho Man, I guess. I'm not comparing Jake Hager to Randy Savage, trust me. He wears polo shirts? Sure, okay. Anakin says his theme music with We the People was cool. Okay, that's a WWE thing, though. J.K. Schwal says the 3 reasons We the People. You know, no one ever chanted that for him out of their own volition until he showed up in AEW and people started chanting that. Thomas Gorey says he's blonde, tall, and sexy-ish. Maybe. He lets other guys kiss his wife. Jason PS3 says he should be a bodyguard and that's it. Yeah, he just needs to be Jericho's muscle. I'm okay with that. Evan Wright says his poetry, his Vader bomb, and Bellator exposure. That poem was really good. He has a nice Vader bomb. I don't care about if you lean too hard on what a wrestler does outside of wrestling, it turns me off. It's like when JR starts saying, he played football over here and basketball over here. Like, I don't care. I don't care what he's able to do outside of the ring. You know, maybe outside of the ring, this guy is, you know, he files his own taxes, but I don't give a shit. It's what happens in the ring that matters. He had a sleepover at JR's house once. Yep. Joe says Jericho was trying hard to put him over on commentary. Well, that's it. That's what he has to do. I mean, that's it's part of what it is. Venus is back. How you doing? Says bad creative. I don't think it's bad creative. I think it's weird decisions. I don't think we'd be having these discussions about Jake Hager if he wasn't this high up on the card without having done anything. Nikki says the only thing he got over in WWE was We the People. True. Robert Kane says the real star in AEW is Wardlow. Oh, Wardlow. I love watching this guy. He impresses me with something new every time. He's so good. DGMC says, can we add Hager to the Warren hates list? Yeah, but I'm more. It's more like apathy. I'm more apathetic in his in regards to Jake Hager as opposed to as opposed to Goldberg, who I think when he comes in and they push him and I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. That just makes my blood boil. When it comes to Jake Hager, it's more like, what are they doing? DGMC asks, what do you think Jericho sees in Hager that we don't? Not just Jericho, right? The whole company sees something in him. I think they see the MMA stuff. I think they see the crossover appeal. You know, this is one of the things where I feel like AEW doesn't live up to the mantra that they had given themselves, where they said we're going to try and do things differently. Bringing a guy in and saying, "Oh, he was good in MMA," and trying and banking on that—that's a very WWE thing. And AEW has said, we want to do things different, change the world and all that shit. I don't see much world changing outside of their storylines where there's long-term booking and the stories make sense and that's good. There's a lot of stuff that they do where I'm like, really? Like this is what we're going to do. Like they're doing we're getting an 8-man tag with the Young Bucks and FTR on the same team, and they're supposed to be like competitive rivals. And if that's not the most WWE type of booking, I don't know what is, And don't get me started on the women. And if you wanted to do something really differently, AEW, you'd push your women to the moon. You'd give them all the room that you can. They barely broke 10 minutes last night on an entire 2-hour program. It's, sometimes. And I'm not saying that they do this across the board, but there's enough stuff sometimes for me to take a step back and I'm like, you say you want to change stuff, but yeah, there's a couple of formulas that I'm seeing here, and I've seen them before. Anyway. Jason PS3 says Hager equals Mr. Hughes. Hey, you know what? At least Jake Hager is a much more rounded athlete than Mr. Hughes ever was, though. Very, very much so. Anywho. DGMC says, if we give the women more time right now, whose time do we clip? That's the thing. You can clip anyone's time. Between us all there, if we're just talking, last night, why did we need Private Party versus Santana and Ortiz? Either they're bad tag teams. So why did we need it? Why couldn't we have had a second match? And this type of thinking is something that's been prevalent ever since we started talking about let's give women more time. It's like, well, who do you cut? Well, you're already cutting women, so it's decisions that executives and creative are making. These are not they're clear decisions that they're making. They're creative. If they really wanted to push women and make them stars on the same levels as the Sammy Guevaras and the MJFs and the Jungle Boys and so on and so forth, they'd invest time in them, like serious time. And they'd give them matches. They'd allow them to shine in competitive matches. 2 weeks ago, we got a 3-minute match. A 3-minute women's match where Sheeta ran through a jabron. And I'm okay with that. But when that's your only women's match, and you're like, okay, well, clearly you don't care. And then we get to a point, well, if you don't care, why should I care? Because ultimately, that's the problem. That's always the situation. If you don't care about X, why should I care about Y? Like Apollo Crews. Let's talk about Apollo Crews. What a segue here. I've told you guys, as fellow loyal listeners to the Mr. Warren Hayes show, WWE has developed a resistance for me to get behind an Apollo Crews push. Not that I don't like Apollo Crews. I think he's uber talented. I think he was called up from NXT too soon, and he's been floundering. And I have seen the Apollo Crews push before, where, oh, suddenly he gets traded to another brand and he wins a couple of matches and then he starts losing again. I've seen this before. So they have him come back, the big push after Money in the Bank. He returns from his leg injury and he wins the title off of Andrade. Then what happens? The first night he defends it against Kevin Owens, the match goes to a non-finish and you get a tag team match. So he technically doesn't even defend it. Then he has a successful defense against Andrade, and then he has a weird defense where he holds the tights. I think it was against Angel Garza. I don't quite remember. He holds the tights for the win, and then now he's in a program with MVP, and he sort of beats MVP. But then they're not giving him convincing, clear, straightforward wins to make us care about Apollo Crews as a U.S. champion. Now they're inkling him into a program with Bobby Lashley. I don't see him winning a program against Bobby Lashley. I think WWE is doing too much of a good job with Lashley right now. I really think they do. I think that whatever program they're setting up for Apollo Crews versus Bobby Lashley is coming out of that situation, U.S. champion, and it is a smart decision because Lashley has never looked this good in this current WWE run. He just hasn't, and it's a smart move to do. So then the whole Apollo Crews push goes once again, and I'm sorry to say, it'll break my heart legitimately when that happens, and then I turn on my streaming software to do the MrWarrenHayes show, and then I put the mic up to my mouth like this, and I say, guys, I'm sorry, but I told you so. I don't want that to happen, but that's clearly the path that's happening. Right now, there's no reason to get excited about an Apollo Crews push because WWE again is showing us that they're not committed to it. So along the same lines as the AEW women's division, where, hey, AEW doesn't care about it, why should I? It's the same thing here with Apollo Crews. WWE doesn't care about Apollo Crews. Why should I? Why should I give a rat's ass about Apollo Crews if WWE doesn't care about it? And that's not on the athlete, it's not on the talent. It's booking, it's creative, it stinks, and it breaks my heart. Thank you, Nikki. You're right. It was against Shelton Benjamin, not Angel. And I mean, if there's a guy that he could have got a clean win, strong, convincing, clear win, it should have been Shelton Benjamin. J.K. Schwal says, "Let Bob dominate and choke everyone out." That's right. It's going to be a full Nelson party. And Evan Wright says, "Why the hell am I supposed to care about Apollo Crews?" Exactly. DGMC says, "I think Apollo desperately needs MVP as his mouthpiece." Apollo desperately needs someone in creative that believes in him enough to give him a legitimate strong push for a couple of months instead of 2-3 weeks at a time and then because I swear, mark my words, because it happens every time. He gets depushed, he starts losing, he gets traded to another brand, and then when he gets traded to the other brand, commentary is going to be like, "Oh, Apollo Crews, he has such great upside, deceptively strong, super agile. This is definitely his time now." It's been rinse and repeat, and it's going to happen again. And it just breaks my heart. Jeez, when you think that he was better off in Titus Worldwide. Thomas Gorey says, "Whatever happened to Riddick Moss?" Oh. That's a good one. Evan Wright says, "I won't hold my breath for future stars, though. Those 4 big show segments were super telling to me. That an MVP winning over Crews. Yep. Yep. I always have to go back to the legends, right?" Jason PS3 says, "By the way, where's Cedric Alexander?" Well, we saw him supporting Ricochet this week. And Evan Wright says, don't even get me started on the 24/7 title. That thing is useless as anything. Why is it even being defended, announced as a title match? It breaks the whole thing. One last thing I'd like to talk about before we wrap it up. I'm hesitating. I don't know which one I should talk about, which one I hated more. Okay. Let's say you turn on your television set and you want to watch a comedy. You sit down and you watch a program where you know you are going to get laughs. You're sitting down because you want to see humorous situations and how they play out. That's your expectation. And you sit down to watch the show. Would you tolerate a show that says to be a comedy if it took that show 24 minutes before attempting a gag or a joke? Not successfully or not. That's not the point. But attempting, just the very first attempt at a joke. Would you be okay with that if it happened 24 minutes in? The first 24 minutes you got a serial killer stalker thing. I don't know. You got anything else but a comedy. You got anything else but you tuning in. You got anything else than what you tuned in for. There you go. That's what I want to say. Do you think no one would be okay with that? No one would, in their right mind, would say, look, I'm sitting down to watch a comedy. Why is it taking so long for me to laugh? Why are we okay as wrestling fans to be like, well, 24 minutes into the match, into the show, we haven't had a single wrestling match. We just had talk. Why are we okay with this? I'm going to tell you, if I want to watch interesting dialogue, maybe some funny quips or dramatic situations, tense situations, I will pull up a whole bunch of shit before that. If I want to see comedy, I'm going to watch Eric Andre's stand-up special. If I want to get like tense situations, I'll watch Bloodlines or I'll rewatch Twin Peaks, or Ozark. It's fucking awesome, Ozark. I watch professional wrestling because I want to watch professional wrestling. I want to see simulated combat between two or more participants. That's what I want to watch. I don't want to see 24 minutes of exposition before getting to the reason why I'm here. My God, making a wrestling match is the simplest thing. Two people want to fight because they want to make money by fighting. That's essentially the basis of it. Hopefully, go up in the ranks and eventually become champion, because when you're a champion, you make more money than everyone else. Ultimately, that's the motivation. I don't need all these elaborate schemes to try and get people to fight. I don't need 12 minutes of people signing a contract to get me to care about him. I want to see people fight. That's why I watch wrestling. And it pisses me off. It really does. It really does, because I can't help but you go to a concert, you sit down for the concert, it starts, and for the first 24 minutes, instead of having the musicians that you came to see perform, you have kids playing in a sandbox. You're like, what the fuck? This is what am I watching? What? This is not why I'm here. And I swear, we're the only people who are like, well, I like wrestling, but I have to sit through this. We're the only people who do that. I'm convinced we're the only people who do that. That sit down to watch something and accept that we're watching something else until we watch the thing we want to watch. Because WWE has trained us to say this is okay. And and honestly, I don't care about it's WWE, you have to accept it. No, I don't. I honestly don't. I don't. And I think their product is suffering for it. And I think I deserve better as a fan than that kind of bullshit. I really do. I really do. And I think you as a fan as well are deserving to not have your intelligence be insulted to that level, where you almost have to get into a full half hour before watching something that you really like, professional wrestling. The angles are not supposed to be the reason you tune in. The angles are support for the match. If you're watching 24 minutes of angles, I swear, no matter how dramatic a situation can be, if you want real drama, real development, real character development, you watch anything else on Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus. Anything else will have better character development than in professional wrestling. You don't watch wrestling for that. You watch wrestling for wrestling, and the angles, the storylines support the matches. It is not the other way around. And yes, we can bury, DGMC says if it's HBK trashing Montreal for the first 24 minutes, I'm okay with it. All right, I get a pass. The exception confirms the rule. But yes, we will bury the Rhea match from last night at NXT, and we are going to close it up on that. It was shit. And this is even more to my point about it's not about the angles, it's about your performers, your athletes, your stars. Rhea Ripley shouldn't be in these goofy angles where it's like, what if I'm a professional wrestler and if I lose this match, I have to join this other guy's brand. She doesn't need to be doing 2-on-1s with a non-wrestler involved in it. She just needs to be Rhea Ripley. I don't know why WWE thinks that this is how they're going to rehabilitate her in our eyes. Have Rhea Ripley go out and kick people's asses. That's what we want. That it is absolutely what we want. And DGMC is right. She's been dieseled. Evan Wright says, go back and watch Rhea Ripley in November. Now watch her on Wednesday. Holy shit, my head. Hell, she showed up on NXT while it was still on the network a couple of weeks before they made the jump to USA. I remember very, very clearly when she walked up to Shayna Baszler, stood toe-to-toe with her. Full Sail was going nuts. I was popping like crazy in my living room. That was good. Good shit. This is not it. This ain't it. And this is not going to rehabilitate her. Rhea Ripley, dropping the ball on Rhea Ripley so hard. Oh yeah, she lost at WrestleMania, but there's a plan for Rhea. Fuck you. There's no plan. There's no plan. You're just going to continue damaging her. Jason PS3 says, it feels like Vince booked that match. You're right. You're absolutely right. J.K. Schwal says, never forget Rhea Survivor Series weekend with winning the SmackDown Triple Threat, War Games 2-on-4, and Survivor Series shorthanded most of it. Yep, she was booked to the moon. Bianca Belair's Royal Rumble. Let's not forget that one either. I sure don't. Thomas Gorey says, Rhea has been castrated. She's lost what made her great in the first place. I agree. Robert Kane says, Rhea should do mixed tags with Apollo. I see what you did there. Carlos says, Shayna, Rhea, and Bianca wasted on Maine, and Rhea's not even on Maine. She should be in her wheelhouse right now. We don't know where Bianca is. You know, with the amount of people that WWE has messed up over the years, the sure things, like Bayley, for instance. Bayley will always be the character assassination that happened. It always befuddles me. A lot of people say, you know, they don't know what they're doing. It's accidental, whatever. I really believe at this point that it takes a certain amount of talent to ruin careers like that, to ruin personalities, and to take someone who was hot and make them cold. It's talent. It's not even accidental anymore. It's like, hey, you've cultivated this. You're really good at it. You're good. You're a talented career ruiner. And I also don't believe in the, well, at least they're on TV thing anymore. Because honestly, at this point, I wish Rhea was off TV. I wish Rhea was off TV. I wish Apollo Crews was off TV. At least they're on TV. They're getting their... No, they're not. They're hurting themselves. They're getting hurt. So let's get... Oh, at least they have something for them. At least they're doing stuff on television. I don't buy it anymore. Ricochet's on TV these days. Well, that was just a few of the things that bugged me this week. Braun Strowman's promo as well. But hey, we're going to wrap this up. Because usually the post streams aren't this long, but you get into a groove sometimes, right? You just get into one of those and everything's okay. Sour Hayes, indeed. Jason PS3 says, they ruined Nexus, Rusev, Nakamura, Cesaro, etc. Exactly. The sure things. Sure things. Well, listen, I hope you enjoyed tonight's edition of Warren is Off the Clock. If you'd like, I strongly suggest, of course, that you become a member. It's a great way to show support for the Mr. Warren Hayes Show on a monthly basis, and I really do appreciate it. And you get to jump in here every Thursday. We have these nice chats. It's usually a little more balanced. I just felt like talking negative tonight. I just felt like talking about all the stuff I didn't like. Keep the positive stuff for the main show, then come over here and, since we're all in a family here. Sour Mountie. I'm not a Mountie. Let's check it out. If you want to join the post streams every Thursday, you have to join on the Power Pal level. So go check that out. Patreon.com/MrWarrenHayes. So check that out. And if not, hey, you know what? Whichever way you decide to show support for the Mr. Warren Hayes Show, even if it's a like on a video, it humbles me so much, and I'm very, very appreciative. So there you go. We're gonna wrap this one up. It was the greatest night in the history of our sport, says DGMC, and I completely agree. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. We'll see you next time.